Bienvenidos a Opulent LD TV, desde St. Paul, Minnesota, directamente a Miami, Florida, trayéndote todo el fuego.
Unacceptable. That don't happen. That don't supposed to happen. And what's more unacceptable is when Mr. Drake liked the post. That also is unacceptable. I expect more out of Mr. Drake. When there's violence, you don't condone it. You should be bigger than that. Mr. Drake, you should be bigger than that. When there's violence, you don't condone that. You don't like no posters and all that, because here's what happens. There's always a backlash of it all. Here's what happens when now you've inserted yourself, even if you were not involved. Half of the country think you set the man up. They book a show in Canada, and you send your goons out there to agitate and start a fight with Ross. And y'all do what you do on the TV. Half the country think that. When you, Mr. Drake, like the post, you just inserted yourself into violence toward Mr. Ross and his crew. Now, let me just say this. As a broker of peace for Tupac and Biggie, I seen how this shit end, man. I mean, these other young guys, we're going to have a conversation with a lot of these other young guys who dying, these senseless deaths and these songs and all that. Y'all brothers are talented. Y'all got to understand, y'all talented. Y'all don't need that. Y'all talented as fuck. Y'all getting people to buy the records. People are buying your records because they like the music. They like what you're saying in the records. So leave it there, young fellas. But now these grown ass ones right here, Mr. Drake and Mr. Ross. When you like the post and you on there doing your little, okay, it's a beautiful day in Canada, and you like the post, you just inserted yourself in some shit. Now, look how this all play out. I'll keep it 1,000. Look how it all play out. Oh, so half the country thinking that you, Roston played the record, the Kendrick Lamar record, and he got jumped on because he played the Kendrick Lamar record. So now you got a whole West Coast of people, they at your head. Oh, that's what we doing? You don't need that, Mr. Drake. You don't need to be confined. You're too talented. I like you. I got friends that like you. I don't know you personally. Don't need to know you personally. But you're too talented to insert yourself in some shit that you're not really about. To have a whole coast at your head, you don't want that. I don't want that for you. Now here's how this shit works out, because again, look, I had the same conversation with Biggie and Pop. I'm probably one of the only few niggas that could talk to them straight up. I was on the road with Biggie when people would be singing Biggie songs in the stadium, singing Pac diss song while Biggie on stage. I seen this thing, and I've seen this man, like, man, I'm not really about that. I love Buddy. Biggie never jumped into the shit. Biggie never said anything. He was like, look, man, I'm leaving that shit alone, man. I ain't really on that. I talked to Biggie. I talked to Pop. I went to Suge nightclub as soon as Pac got out of jail and had a conversation with him on this shit here. Hey, Pac, look here, man. Same thing I'm saying to y'all. Leave this shit alone, boss. Because it's not going to be the rapper pull the trigger. It's not going to be the rapper pull the trigger. It's not going to be the rapper that robs somebody. It's not going to be the rapper that do something. No, it's going to be somebody looking for a come up. It's going to be somebody looking for a come up. Or it's going to be some super fan who going to then do the shooting. You don't be knowing where it's coming from. So I would have expected Mr. Drake to be like, yo, I don't condone violence. That ain't what it is. I don't have nothing to do with that or none of that. You feel me? Because y'all can play the little games where you're talking on this social media shit and you're doing your little texting and you're tweeting and you're talking and however y'all say whatever y'all want to say about each other. You can do that on here. But when you go to putting hands on people, that's when the shit go to a whole nother level. When you go putting hands on people, that go to a whole nother level. So people didn't have to put hands on you. And then they can have a conversation about it. You got to be the bigger person than that. Y'all on here doing all this. Sticks and stones may hurt my bones. Word would never hurt me. Ain't nobody put no hands on nobody but until now. See, all these dudes gonna get on here and they gonna talk that sucker shit and all that, and they gonna think this is a game. This is not a game. Because you put your hands on your homeboys put their hands on, they did not put their hands on Ross. They put their hands on Sam and them other people who are with Ross. The rapper never gets hands put on them. It's the other people, and then it's the other people that really be about their life. It be the other people who be with the rapper who really on that shit. The rapper just takes these other people who be with them because they're in them streets every day and they take them with them to get them out of the streets to try to save their lives. But then now when you go to put your hands on them dudes, them dudes about their life.
Blessings, tribe. Now, shout out to Uncle Luke. He got on here and he got a lot more detailed on pretty much what I was trying to say discreetly yesterday in my video. I basically gave out a PSA basically saying and warning Drake and affiliates to just stay away from Miami for 5 years. Because I basically know what's going to happen. Just based on the events that took place in Canada. Now look, I appreciate OG, Uncle Luke, chiming in and giving his piece on this, because he is 100% correct in everything he said. Like, Drake, you basically co-signed the violent events by liking that post of the video. Now look, it doesn't matter who you're connected with, Jay Prince or any of that. Like, war is war, and this is a space you're very unfamiliar with, Drake. You should have stayed in your place. You should have just been like, yo, okay, I don't condone that violence. Like, I want to just keep this on wax. This is not what I'm trying to do. But you have entered a new realm. And these guys, like I said yesterday, these guys that are employed by Drake are out the hood. And they with all that petty, dumb-ish. You know what I'm saying? And you literally embarrass them in front of the world. It's one thing for them, like, you know, being security, just as security is. It's one thing for them to have to, I mean, that's what they're hired for, to pretty much take up for their artists that they're protecting. But this was very preventable in a sense of just you not co-signing any of that, or you could have easily just had your PR person write a statement like, I don't condone that. That's not what I'm on. Yada, yada, yada. There's just so many different ways that you could have handled this. And yes, let me be honest. Rick Ross was wrong in the sense of trying to come there and play with them. And I do understand that you can't control how somebody responds to things as far as that. You just can't control how somebody responds. You just got to be ready for how they respond or react. But hey, man, for me, it's just definitely not that serious. It's a song. I get it. Just let him have his piece. Let him, get off. But then again, even if, say this wouldn't have happened, I'm sure Rick Ross would have been on, made videos like, yeah, I was in your town, in your country, and played this song and nothing happened. So, in essence, I do get it. The dudes in Canada staying 10 toes down and be like, yo, nah, this ain't that. We ain't soft like you think we are. Because in all essence, a lot of American dudes, they do like to play everybody like they're soft. And this is the thing, the key. Like, cats need to learn to stop underestimating cats just because where they're from. Like, in all essence, it takes nothing to get ignorant. It don't take no hard upbringing to become ignorant and do and fight and all that jazz. Like, I don't get, man, like I said, man, I'm just in a higher type of thought pattern than a lot of these ninjas out here. But it don't take much to get ignorant at all. And so people always basing off where you're from and all this jazz like that really makes you better or more distinguished as far as being a hood figure and all this type lame stuff. It's crazy. But I digress. Anyways, yeah. So Drake, you pretty much, in a sense, low-keyly created a Biggie and PAC situation. But the simple fact is, like, of course, you're nowhere near from the hood. Tupac was and Biggie were from the hood. And I'm not saying that makes them any better than you, but they just understand the elements that come along with it. Just, yeah, you're surrounded by cats that may be from the hood in Canada, but you're not really coursed in the events and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Drake, you should have been smarter. You're supposed to be you definitely supposed to be the bigger dude, especially coming from where you're from. As far as just, you've always been on more the positive end of stuff. Yes, you popular-ish, but yeah, Drake, we know you from that TV show. I forgot the name of the TV show. And not saying, yes, you were playing a character, but the character was super lame, man. And as much as that may have not been you, it's just a part of your history, and people see that on television, and a lot of people believe that's really who you are. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. I would love for there to be some sort of way that they can just sort this out in a positive way. I would love to not see any more violence happen, because we don't need that. But this is the fire you play with when you take actions as far as putting your hands on somebody versus the continuously just barking and barking. Like, let's just even speak on like this YouTube stuff, right? Like, there's lots of dudes who bark and completely disrespect people, like, to the ultimate degree. And I understand, yes, those people do deserve hands put on them, and they're gonna get the fugazi energy that they put out. But I ain't gotta be the one to do it. It's already on its way to him. I ain't gotta be the one to do it though. I'm gonna just sit back and and watch it play out. I'm gonna be there watching. I'm gonna see that video, or even if we in person, I'm gonna be witnessing it firsthand. So you just gotta be real conscious that what you do unto others, you do unto yourself first. That's why my energy is so pure. That's why I'm just so righteous with always giving my respect first. I get it. But hey, hop in my comments. Let me know how you feel about the situation. It's the God, Opulent LDTV, reminding you that when you're in these streets, it's quality over quantity. I'm gone.